Good morning, RhinoCats, and welcome to Geometry Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we're going to be coming together and exploring all things geometry. Geometry is the part in math that studies the size, the shape, the positions, and dimensions of objects. And geometry is super important because shapes make up everything around us. If you want to be an architect, if you want to go into construction, if you want to really build anything, you need to be familiar with geometry. Specifically today, we are going to be focusing on two-dimensional shapes. And when I'm talking about dimensions, I'm just talking about measurable points on a shape or on a structure. So for example, when I'm talking about a one-dimensional shape, I can only measure one side, one part of that object. And an example of a one-dimensional shape is a line. So I can only measure one side, so I can only measure the length, how long this line is or how wide this line is, and it's going to be flat. Moving on to two-dimensional shapes, which is where our focus is going to be today, we can measure two dimensions or two parts of this shape. So two-dimensional shapes are going to have both a length. We're going to be able to measure how long one side of a two-dimensional shape is. We're also going to be able to measure how wide the shape is. We're going to be able to measure its width. So both length and width we can measure on a two-dimensional object. Still going to be flat like our line, but it's going to be an extra dimension. So some examples of our two-dimensional shapes, we have curved shapes. Curved shapes do not have any straight lines, no straight edges, and they're round. So two examples of curved shapes, we have a circle and we have an oval or an ellipse. Our polygons is just a fancy word for shapes that have straight sides. So a circle and oval are not polygons because they do not have straight sides. They have curved sides. However, most of our shapes are polygons. So a triangle that has three sides, that's a polygon. The sides on a triangle, they can be equal, so they can have the same amount of, they can be the same length on each side, but they don't have to be, and we'll explore that a little bit later. A square, it has four sides, and those sides have to be equal, so they're all going to be the same length. A rectangle, another four-sided polygon, the sides do not have to be equal in length. Two of these sides will, and these sides will also match. They'll be similar or the same size in length, but the four sides do not have to be equal in length to be a rectangle. Pentagon, five-sided shape. Down here, let me fix this. A hexagon, six sides. Hex just means six. Hexagon has six sides. We see this a hexagon on a soccer ball. Octagon, it has eight sides. A stop sign is an octagon. Octa meaning eight, like an octopus has eight tentacles. And finally, trapezoid. You may also see a trapezoid in your work today. A trapezoid is another four-sided shape, like a square, like a rectangle. The difference with our trapezoid is it does not have all of its sides, unlike a square, are not equal in length. And unlike a rectangle, these two lines here you can see are not parallel. They're not going in the same direction of each other. So that's what makes a trapezoid a little different. So getting into what you will see for your work today. You are going to be, once again, logging on to IXL and going into learning, going into topics, into geometry and spatial reasoning. And then you're going to access your grade level skills from there. So first grade level skills, V period 2, select the 2D shapes. I want MW and CS to complete that. For my second grade skills, T period 2, select the 2D shapes. I want RU, SG, KT, IG, and DAG to complete second grade skills. T period 2, select the 2D shapes. Third grade skills, CC period 1, identify the 2D shapes. I want NB to complete that. So getting into some of the questions you'll see today, you're just going to be identifying two-dimensional shapes. So the shapes that we just reviewed. So some of you may see questions like, which shape is a square? And you're going to have to look at the shapes that they have given to you, and you're going to have to figure out which shape is a square. So we want to take a look and remember what our square looks like. I know that a square has 4 equal sides. This is a circle, right? It's round. It does not have straight sides. This has 4 equal sides, so I know that this shape is a square, so I would click on that. Select all the rectangles. So you may be given a question that asks you to select more than one shape if they're asking you for all of something. So I would have to find not one rectangle, but all the rectangles that they have shown to me, that they have offered in this question. So I know that a rectangle is a 4-sided shape. It doesn't have to have equal sides or sides that are equal in length. So I know that this is a rectangle. This has 4 sides. 2 of our sides are going to be parallel, running in the same direction as each other. I know that this has 3 sides, so this has to be a triangle. This also has 4 sides that have 2 sides that are equal in their length or width. They're going in the same direction, parallel. So I know that that is also a rectangle. I know that this shape is curved. It has no straight sides, so it is a circle. So you would select both this shape and this shape because these are both rectangles, 4-sided shapes. 2 of the sides are going to be parallel with each other, running in the same direction. What shape is this? So you may be given a shape and you have to identify that shape. So what you're going to do is the easy way that I identify shapes is I look to see how many sides that shape has. If it doesn't have any sides, if it has no straight sides, it's probably going to be a circle or an ellipse, right, or an oval. If it has straight sides, I'm going to look through my polygons and see how many sides it has to identify the shape. So if we count the sides here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6-sided shape. I know that a hexagon is a 6-sided shape. My other option here is trapezoid, and I know that a trapezoid is a 4-sided shape. So I know that hexagon has to be my correct answer. So guys, your objective today is we're just reviewing, identifying 2-dimensional shapes. So shapes that are flat, shapes that we can measure both length and width on the shape. So good luck today. Try your best. Once again, guys, if something's too easy for you or it's too hard, you can skip back a grade level or skip up a grade level. So don't be afraid to explore IXL a little bit and move up or down a grade level if you're feeling comfortable or feeling uncomfortable. So try your best, guys, and I will be in touch.